of technical difficulties in studio and elsewhere. I have a feeling because of the significance of our guest that we're gonna have. A real big man. That is why we're having this. But man and man from Moran Point, the Nick Grill is a brand new episode inside the program designed for men with guests who are men hosted by men. It's the mailbox here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. right here on Love 101 FM, the family station. If you're new around here, welcome. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. So ensure you jump over. I'm Kevin Bailey and my co-host, fully bright, intelligent, Courtney Morrison, right here in the place. Courtney.
Thank you. And it's always great to co host with the wonderful, great, brilliant Kevin Bailey. We've been around for 11 years here on the mailbox, and we continue to contribute to history, I believe. We're excited for what's in store for you today in the show. And for the past month, we've been discussing the different ways we can move our beautiful country into greener pastures. We have seen and heard some insightful perspectives from our men. And this week, we are not going to do it any differently. We close out this topic, though, on the show. This is the last of the series for the month of September. So let's get into it. Yeah. Moving Jamaica forward, the man's perspective. It is important for us to look forward for growth and development. And we love to hear what our men have to say. Kev, how was your weekend?
Really, really great. I have to give thanks. I had the privilege to be at Olivet and yeah, sharing with them in their special service there. Big shout out to all the man them in the place at Olivet and the ladies as well who support the mailbox. I have to tell you, Courtney, on another from another perspective, Angela Daniels must big up the mailbox and big you up. She says, even though I'm not a man, I benefit so much from listening to the mailbox. And so it has been good. How is it on your side, Courtney?
It was good. Started going back to the gym after 3 months being off because I injured my back.
Oh.
But I want to give a special shout out to one, Judge Paula Powell, who continues to support this program everywhere she is, anywhere she is. I'm sure she's listening in now. I remember when I was at Kendall Camp, she came to speak. And when she came out, she said, "What are you doing here? I just listened to you on the mailbox." I said, "What are you doing here?" But it's always great to have those who continue to give support. We appreciate it. We thank you. You could be doing something else. We still continue to ask you, though. Please call out your friends, ask them to come on. A shout out to the Portmore Ministers Fraternal, our President, Reverend Dr. Clara Marshall, the Secretary, Reverend Apostle Neva Campbell, and to our great financial person, Dr. Winston Scott. I hope if I left out anyone, Dr. Mary Nichols, how are you? Reverend, Second Vice President. I almost forgot your name, but I know if I did that, it would be a fun time. And we keep in remembrance our brother who was the PRO, Reverend Linval Mark Lewis, who died last year, December. But we think today, and we know it's going to be a great show. Today we're talking about moving Jamaica forward, the man's perspective. Why it's important that we talk about the economy, ways to make money, and other ways to drive Jamaica into prosperity through riches. We also have to talk about our great resources. And the greatest resource of them all is our people. And so we have questions that we want to ask. Is it important for Jamaica's growth that we prioritize the mental health of our people? Yes?
Big, Courtney.
Yes.
Yeah, huge thing. I just reflecting, according to World Health Organization, mental health is a state of well-being where the individual can realize their personal goals. They can manage normal stresses of life. They can be fruitful and productive and make a meaningful contribution to their society. And amazingly, if you put it with what Genesis say when God created male and female, and God said they must multiply and be fruitful and subdue the earth and rule. Is like WHO took it straight from the scriptures as to what give us great mental health. I find that very, very interesting. I can just look at the scripture and just look at their definition of mental health and say God wants all of us to have great mental health. Yeah, just thought I'd put that there.
It's something that I've been saying in recent sessions that I've been having. You want to find the truth? Go
Mhm.
back to Genesis 1 and 2. The genesis of everything,
Ah,
literally,
yeah.
is there. Another question we want to ask: what are some amenities that could be installed for our people to feel more appreciated in our country? What are some of those amenities? Even something as simple as our public bathrooms, you know,
Hmm.
public transportation.
Oh
It
man.
can be quite frustrating, can be quite annoying, and even leave you in such a state that you're not prepared to enter the work world or your offices in the correct frame of mind. It can leave you feeling dysfunctional, and the time is so hot. Probably some air conditioned units would be good too. I don't know.
No, no. So many things. Jamaicans are well revered in foreign countries. Do we know our value as a people? That's a huge one.
Yes,
And
it is.
when you travel overseas, as you well know, Courtney, and people ask you, "Where are you from?" And once you mention Jamaica, it's just amazing how their eyes lit up and they
Yes.
want to know so many things about our amazing country. And then you come back and you face some challenges, see how some of our people behave crude and indisciplined and all of that. And then you wonder if we know our value. But yeah.
One of the things that's quite amazing to me is the value of our language, patois. We
Yes.
seem not to cherish it. We seem to love to tell our children, yeah, but you're speaking bad English. Yet when we go overseas,
Oh
and I
my.
know Ghana and Zambia
Yes.
fascinated
Yes.
with our patois.
Yeah.
President Barack Obama came and he had to try the slam. Wagwan, man. And
One.
so everyone else, it would
Ah,
seem, are fascinated, all
yeah,
are fascinated by our language, yet we
that's
do
right.
not cherish it. We seem to think it is one of the worst things. Speak proper English.
Hey,
Ain't speaking it.
Courtney, it seems
Yes.
the bishop is here. Is that true? Want to officially welcome Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels in the place. Is this Bishop, right, Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels?
Your mic is muted, Rev. If you could unmute, it would be good. It would add tremendously to
Ah,
that bright,
you
I
wonderful
know
smile
it's
that
just
you have.
because I was talking Jamaican. We said
ah.
me there.
You're in the place.
In the place for real.
No, we want
I'm
Brethren,
to.
a
delighted
long time I
here.
see you
I'm
know. Say
delighted to
it's
be here.
last year, March, I see you when we went to Nigeria, bro.
Oh my gosh, that's too bad. That's a
Wow.
long, long time ago,
We
but
need to
precious
link up.
memories. We went to look
Yes.
for our African brothers and sisters. It was
Oh,
beautiful.
hey, Courtney, I have to boast. I mean, I see Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels recently. He is chair of Kingston Keswick, among other
That's
things. He's
right.
my chairman. And therefore, we just met. So, after boast and show off,
Of course.
welcome, welcome officially. And I want the
Yes.
audience to know if I slip and I say Steve, it's because affectionately we just say Steve, but I just
Of course.
wanted
And
to know.
actually, that's
Yes,
how I think you're in my head, that's how you're
yes.
supposed to call me.
Oh my God. See? So, no, no, we're happy to have you. Thank you so much for really coming. Really appreciate it. And to get your
Yes.
perspective on
Yes,
some
indeed.
very big questions that we have in the place. So,
Right.
welcome, Steve. Well, man,
Yes,
and
thanks
man,
for having me. Say
Sure.
that again.
No, no, I was just telling the man them to listen up now and to call the
Yes.
other man them. Yeah.
Yes.
And ladies, remember we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. You can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line 876-997-3125. We're talking about moving Jamaica forward. Courtney, I know you want to get a word in, so I love you.
No, I'm contented to listen to two great persons, Reverend Stephen Samuel and Kevin Bailey. I'm one of those who, in the presence of greatness, I become awed and become speechless. So it's please don't be stunned by that. But Rev, I want to shoot early because we started late because of technical difficulties.
Right.
The culture of Jamaica and its value in moving Jamaica forward. I know you have been involved. I've seen you win the JCDC gospel, the popular festival contest, and that song itself spoke clearly to our nation. What are some of the things do you think culturally we can do to move our nation forward?
Right. Thanks for having me again, Courtney. Good question. And let me just say so that if the Minister of Culture is listening to me, we got the most awards in that year for JCDC Popular Festival Song Contest. And it is interesting that a whole choir of 61 persons could have gotten the most awards. In fact, in that year, we actually maybe doubled the amount of votes that the other 9 contestants got put together. The summary of their votes added up to about half of ours. So it was clearly the popular song for that year. Well, one of the things why I thought that we should start the conversation there is that the song was talking about the strength of the Jamaican people, and we are strong, 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 and it was a really nice song, but the message of the song was even more so great. In fact, one event that the Prime Minister was at when we were guest artists there, he immediately put out something about the song and how great the song was, because it was just talking about the strength of Jamaicans. Now, talking about the strength of Jamaicans, it all is wrapped up in the culture of Jamaicans. That there is something unique about Jamaicans that make us attractive in the eyes of the world. So, for instance, when we are running, we run well, but we also carry a personality with us when we're running, so that persons are attracted to us. For if you use Usain style, with that one hand in the air and so on. But Usain is only a big picture of what the Jamaican really is. So he carries it bigger. But the rest of us are doing it, So, for instance, I would be a worship leader in the International Fellowship of Evangelical Students, General Assembly, World Assembly, 150 nations gathered together in one place. And this little Jamaican youth is a worship leader with a worship team from Spain, Russia, everywhere around the world. And it is just amazing, brethren, to see when a Jamaican worship leader steps on a stage where it's not like he's a name brand, brother. It's just nobody don't know me, we just go there as a worship leader, and just to see the energy, the vibe, of people who barely know English, but they are rising to the ministry that worship leader from Jamaica brings. You look at the Sunshine Girls. Look at the reggae girls, well loved. They came in the top 16, but even within the 16, there was a love and an appreciation for them. When we go to even like Miss Universe and so on, and all people come out, great. They look good. People engage them. They're attracted to them. There is something about Jamaica, brethren, and we
Yeah.
have to discover it.
Yeah.
When we came out of the pandemic, you see, the Minister of Tourism spoke about us being one of the fastest countries to re-engage tourists from all over the world. We were like number one, brother.
Wow.
How can that happen? How can a little country is like number one in terms of persons coming back to this country to just take in the Jamaican product? It is absolutely amazing. And last point, never said on this. What needs to happen now is that those of us who are in leadership, we have to sit down and study the thing, brethren. God has given us a gift, and regrettably, other man make Pepsi and then sit there, and them make money off it, because them done work out the formula. We need to work out the formula. We need to discover what is it in the Jamaican DNA that makes Jamaican so loved, because we have to convert the thing. We have to monetize the love, We can't just have galang, so like I said, we are dumb in a brethren. We have to monetize what God has given to us so that it can reap benefits for us. So I mean that on this whole culture thing.
One way I say it, Rev, is Jamaica. You make right here, and it is special. You're listening to the program, The Mailbox. Today, it is Kevin Bailey and Courtney Morrison, along with Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels, moving Jamaica forward, man's perspective. Don't move a muscle. We take a break. We'll be right back when we hear more from our guests. Come right back after this.
I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with attorney at law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint. On Thursdays, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Bashco. Bashco, the store that gives you more. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101.
I could be you.
Or me.
A member of the family. Brother, sister, mother.
A member of your community. Pastor, policeman, neighbor.
I could be you. But for me, every door says no entry.
Nobody is their HIV status. Chumma, join us.
After all, I could be you. Join us.
Join us. Let's work together to stop HIV discrimination. Be a champion for change. A message from the National Family Planning Board.
Hate long wait times at the pharmacy? Me too! Well, I found Marshall's Pharmacy, located at Pathfinder Plaza, Greater Portmore. Great customer service, shorter wait times, all the local and international brands I want, plus print services powered by Print Corner. WhatsApp your prescriptions to 876-491-7841 and follow them on Instagram at Marshall's Pharmacy. Visit Marshall's Pharmacy in Greater Portmore today. They're open late every day, even on public holidays.
Planning to sit the January CXC CSEC exams privately? Register with Overseas Examinations Commission before the registration deadline, October 13, 2023. Visit our Kingston office or Montego Bay office to complete your application form or send an email to help@overseasexams.org.jm. Follow our social media pages at Overseas Exams for more details. Remember, if you plan to sit the January CXC CSEC exams privately, the registration deadline is October 13, 2023.
Cubby's Baby Wipes is ideal for your baby's delicate skin, infused with vitamin E and aloe vera, and available for home or on the go. The time by Cubby's Baby Wipes is
6:03 p.m. right here on Love 101. It is Wednesday, September 20, 2023. Listeners, remember you can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125 or give us a call on our studio line at 876-968-8327 or 8. Or join us on our YouTube or Facebook page. You can also rewatch the show on Facebook and YouTube if you missed anything or feel like you just want to give it a second look. Our guest is the Reverend Stevenson Samuels. We're talking about moving Jamaica forward, the man's perspective. Over to you, Kev.
Yes, I want to ask Steve the important question, if we're gonna have Jamaica growing for Jamaica's growth, do we need to prioritize the mental health of the people? Is it significant that we pay focus to the mental health of our people, Sir Steve?
Boy, Kevin, you have to come up with that question, E. Mental health. You are the expert on this, Kevin.
I found the producer.
Right now, I am feeling very incapable in your presence to respond to that question. But nevertheless, it has been shown, though, Kevin, that there has been a strong correlation between mental and physical health. There is this feeling that the two of them are like peas in a pod. They go together and they are basically inseparable. And therefore, if somebody is mentally not well, if somebody is emotionally weak and is becoming emotionally dysfunctional, then it will be played out in their physical capacity and ability to carry out certain functions. Therefore, you need to have a good mental health. In fact, there are times, Kevin, when your mental health becomes so weak that you become like diabetic. Like if you never saw weak mentally and emotionally, you wouldn't have diabetes at that point in time. So there are times when you really need a kind of mental and emotional healing in order to be physically well. It isn't about taking tablets, doing exercises. It's about having a healthy mind. And also I have found out, Kevin, and let me throw in Courtney in this too, that good mental health makes you, it not only makes you physically better. I kind of had said this now, but it increases your level of productivity. That you work better, you work faster, you become more productive, you turn out the goods more when you are mentally healthy. Just a little motivation, a little pat on the back sometimes. But even going a little further, just the other day, I was listening to Miss Universe back in the day, a couple of years ago, and she came on a particular program. Me not go further than that with the program, but she came on a particular program, and she was talking about how she was being healed mentally, and also you can tell spiritually, because she kind of hinted to that, but them no one go there. So, but if you listen to her well, you would find out that it was also spiritual healing and also mental healing, because she was getting therapy, and how that caused her to feel much better about herself, and is causing her to become more accepted internationally just by becoming more mentally and emotionally well. Yeah. And
Rev Doc, the scripture does says God has not given us a spirit of fear, but one of love and power. And we seem to remember those two quite easily. But it does say, and a sound mind. And we seem to forget it. And
absolutely.
in church, we seem not to speak about the sound mind. The love and the power, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the spirit and the body. But when it comes on to the mental, the soulish realm, the emotions, the feelings, somehow I'm hearing church even preaching that emotions seem to be ungodly, as if God was not the one who gives them to us.
Yes.
We need to be careful, but I do believe the movement of a nation is directly proportionate in its growth to the issue of mental illness, directly correlated. My question is, what are some of the amenities we could install in our people to feel much more appreciated in this country? What are some of those amenities you think?
Yeah.
We spoke about the culture, we speak about what are some of the things that facilities that can facilitate the growth?
Yeah, that's another good question, especially because of my own initial, professional discipline. So I think that we need to build a greater built surroundings and environment. I think if we are really serious about giving a certain kind of pride to our people, we need to ensure that our built environment is done well. Is done in an organized and a structured way, and in a manner that is reflective of quality. That might seem not so important, but for me, that is a great thing. One of the reasons why foreign so appealing is that when you go up there, the place just structured and pretty. The place is organized. The place is, the built environment is managed. The government obviously is in control of what is going on in terms of what is being built in cities and so on. And that we need for the out here, brother. Man just put out all kind of crap. And things that are not dignified. And we're what is no? And then the other thing is that we need to be able to maintain a clean environment. We need to take up the garbage. The place need to clean. The place is too dirty, brethren. You see, when the place is dirty, people behave dirty. People would lose their sense of pride and cleanliness, and we just dash things anyway, and then we treat each other in a dirty way. We just get 50 truck the other day. One time my garbage pick up, and me have to turn my own garbage man in a brethren. Pick up my own garbage, and go dump it myself. That can't work. That cannot work. After me I pay so much tax, and then me here so we buy 50 truck. When the truck them buy, my garbage start pick up. Then about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, my garbage stop pick up. Truck broke down. Hey, don't tell me them thing, the virgin. After we get 50 truck are broke down? You can't tell me that after 50 truck. So I'm saying we have to keep a cleaner environment. And let me just mention too, that when we talk about a clean environment, we're talking about the cleanliness of the land, but also of the air and the water. Trust me, it's them thing that we are talking about when we talk about environment. We're not just talking about pick up the things from the ground, but we want to make sure that the air is clean, and we also want to make sure that our water is clean. The average Jamaican deserves this. If you're living, especially in a land of wood and water, we have to ensure that our people get clean water. So that's what we talk about when we talk about amenities. We're talking about housing and the provision of affordable housing for our people. We're talking about good roads. Why Jamaica have so much pothole? Me don't know. I want some. I would just keep fixing and it broke out back again. Something is wrong, Virgin. And we have to fix that. When you talk about also things like parks and markets, we have to make sure that those things are managed well. When you go down in some of our markets, they are absolutely filthy. And then we need some nice green spaces where people can run up and down, especially when we're making, things, city houses smaller. Then we need to have more wonderful parks that are properly maintained. Let me stop there. We could have gone further, man.
Let me tell you. Hey, no, let me tell you, Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels is a whole heap of things that, but very significant things. But let me, we have to milk it out of you. It's not often we get to have this conversation. So let's get some more. When Jamaicans travel abroad, we're revered. When we see our athletes, when we see Sunshine Girls, when we see people like Marcus Messiah Garvey, when we see just the amazing Jamaicans how they perform abroad, do you think that the average Jamaican understand their value? Do you think we value ourselves? Is there any problem there that may be affecting the lack of growth in a big way? You know, we want to reach first world status. Is this tied, you think, Reverend Dr. Simpson Samuels, to how we value ourselves?
Yeah, good question. We want to get them questions from Virgin. I mean, they are fantastic. Good question. And let me tell you why. I would say no, we don't value ourselves. I give you an anecdote to strengthen this. Many years ago, when I was a student at UA, they had what they call a labor conference. It was dealing with it was in a course called labor economics. Okay? And that labor economics course was very small, like said 12, 15 people in a class. And then when they go over to monetary economics, they have to keep it in our big lecture theater, and the lecture theater full of people. Everybody want to do monetary economics. So they had this thing, when they were dealing with this, this whole concept of human capital, and that labor is a capital in itself. So these, capitalist guys from US came down, and I'm not speaking politically, trust me, but they came down and they were talking about, the value of human capital. And as the seminar came to a close, the guy just, I don't know, I think he was touched by, Jamaicans and wanted to just share with them. This is not Marcus Garvey and Usain Bolt and Bob Marley, man. This is normal Jamaicans now. He said, listen, I'm from the United States, and I want you to know in Jamaica that we highly value you, and that our economy booms because of you. Wow. Then he continued to say that we are benefiting from Jamaica because you are the ones that you are supplying the labor that we need in our hospitals, in our schools, in other institutions. They say when Jamaicans come up here, the quality of the work that they put out, and also the amount of work, the level of productivity, the willingness to work long hours, absolutely high.
Rev Doc, let me stick up in there. We have to go for our final break. Time is up on 16 minutes past 6. So hold it right there. You don't know how the thing run. And so we're going to take a break. You're listening to the Mailbox. This is Pastor Courtney Morrison. We'll come back after these messages.
Yes. Strong man.
Start the school year right with the Chris and Charles Smart Start Back to School promotion. Borrow up to $3 million. You could win $1 million and nominate your child for a $50,000 grant. Yes, call 876-920-4189 or visit www.chrisandcharles.com for details. Promotion runs August 1, 2023 to September 29, 2023. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 50. Of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
Swallowfield Chapel in Kingston, Jamaica comes alive on Saturday, October 7 for the 7th staging of the Sterling Gospel Music Awards, recognizing talent, rewarding excellence. Featuring live performances from DJ Nicholas, Kevin Heath, Prince Saj, John Mark Wigan, Chantal Smalling, Humble, Chris Campbell, and more. Red carpet, 6 p.m., showtime, 7 p.m. sharp. Dress code, black and white excellence. Get your tickets now at spuropen.com/Sterling7. Adults, $3,000 pre-sold, $3,800 at the gate. Children, $1,500. Lap infants, 2 years and under free. Be there.
Planning to sit the January CSEC exams privately? Register with Overseas Examinations Commission before the registration deadline, October 13, 2023. Visit our Kingston office or Montego Bay office to complete your application form, or send an email to help@overseasexams.org.jm. Follow our social media pages at Overseas Exams for more details. Remember, if you plan to sit the January CSEC exams privately, the registration deadline is October 13, 2023.
Get your
Western Union back to school bonus from now until September 22. 50 winners of $10,000 every week. Millions in scholarships of up to $100,000 each. And double your Western Union money transfer in your GK1 wallet to get you ready for the new school year. You could be one of over 300 winners. Just download the GK1 app, receive a Western Union transfer in your GK1 wallet, and you're automatically entered to your back to school bonus. Visit gkmsonline.com for all the rules. Authorized under Section 58 3 of the Betting Gaming and License.
The world is full of job opportunities locally and overseas. Let us bring them to you. Register now at Distinction College located at 26 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. In 2 to 3 months, earn local and international certificates in housekeeping, food and beverage, food preparation, receptionist, and customer service. Qualified to work in hotels, cruise ships, restaurants, and businesses worldwide. No subjects required, no age limits, no entrance test. Day, evening, and Saturday classes begin very soon at low school fees, easy and flexible payment plans. Call us 356-4167.
Prophetess Althemine Bingham presents Pastors and Church Leaders Summit on Saturday, September 23, starting at 9 a.m. at the Mountain View New Testament Church of God, located at 81B Mountain View Avenue in Kingston. Registration fee is only $1,000. Remember to wear all white or a white top. The presenter for the morning will be Prophetess Althemine Bingham. For further information, please contact 876-799-8547. It is an event not to be missed.
Welcome back to the program, The Mailbox. This is Courtney Morrison. Along with me is Kevin Bailey and our esteemed guests, as they called us while we were in down there
in Africa.
Acacia, that we're esteemed men of God. Reverend Stevenson Samuels. We're talking about what we can do for this nation, moving Jamaica forward, the male's perspective or the man's perspective. He's a former head of the Jamaica Cause movement here in Jamaica. He's pastor at the Walton Park New Testament Church. I can't name the things. I'm done right now, so just most of the man big. All right. Former host of the Campus Connection on Love 101, the family station. Go ahead, Reverend Stevenson Samuels. You were telling us, but also including it this time. Sin is a reproach unto any people. Righteousness exalts a nation. Help us as you continue to give us your exegesis on this matter.
Yeah. So Courtney, all I would say in wrapping up that now is he's saying we have become rich. The United States of America has become powerful with Jamaican labor. Yeah. And when you check the remittances from the US and other countries, that when you look at that contribution to GDP, you realize that the people in foreign, they are working their butt off. And the amount of money that they are sending back here is so much because their worth and their labor is turned up and buck and are run over. So I'm saying that those of us that are left back here, we also have that capacity, you know, and the same DNA in our system, you know, brother. Our cousin and brother, them are mother and father gone a foreign, you know. So we have that capacity too. Yeah. I am saying, let us do the thing. When we get up and go to work a morning, we could go out there with a sense of purpose, energy, productivity, creativity. I charge and challenge the politicians and other leaders in this country. Make we do the thing right. Let us lead well so that people can be invigorated and infused and inspired. Don't give your labor, your best labor, only when you go foreign. Let us do it right here, because when we do it here, we can get the same returns on our labor investment.
Boy, I feel like I want to work after hearing that, you know, man. No, thank you so much. Those who are just joining us, we're having a conversation with Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels. Sir Steve, do you believe that the Jamaican people are given the opportunities for growth and development as against why we have the crime and the violence? Maybe is a part A, part B. So here we have amazing human resource with amazing people, Jamaicans. Is it that we're not given the opportunities? and that's why we're turning to the crime and violence. A synopsis evaluation of your perspective on this.
Yeah, I think that we need to, two things we need to do with our labor to make our labor become more productive. One is that we need to give more incentives for great work done. We need to find ways of rewarding those who are genuinely contributing in a substantial way to the growth of this nation. We need to lift them up with incentives and put them out there so that others can see them and be motivated to produce at higher levels, incentives. And then the second thing we need to do is to provide greater opportunities for persons who have creative ideas, who are innovative. Innovative, think of that word. That's not a joke word. I use it intentionally. We need to stimulate innovation and creativity, new ideas, entrepreneurship. We need to create opportunities, open windows, doors for people like that. And then in terms of violence, we need to find ways of shutting it down. You know, too often we are finding excuses for people who are doing crime in this country. Which excuse, brother? If you do crime, you do crime. And we need to deal with the thing and sort it out in Jesus' name. You know, we need to, when a man do wrong, if he knows him do wrong, and if he feel it, we don't know how him going to feel it, but if he feel it, people need to know that wrong is not tolerated and right is promoted and supported. Yeah, that's me on that.
Awesome. I was alluding to sin being a reproach to a nation. Is the church doing enough to help to move our nation forward? Are we influencing enough? Have we been speaking out loudly enough? I know this Sunday we have a movement happening in the park. Tell me a bit in moving Jamaica forward, the church's role.
Yeah. I think that we have done a lot. The church in Jamaica, I applaud the church for what it has done. You know, years ago, there was this movement that was sponsored by the government. It was a part of the Ministry of Health, I think. It was called Jamaica Now, something like that. And it was looking at adolescent health, reproductive health, and so on. And you know, one of the things they realized, I said it in a presentation this morning at the University of Technology. They say that the two things that has impacted adolescents the most in Jamaica are one, family, and two, faith formation. Them say all I picked them are in general, the picked them were resilient, doing well, accomplishing much, trying hard, moving ahead with life. Two something them have. Hey, more, hey, you know, said somebody call the Prime Minister now, man. Make him turn on the radio for love. There are two factors that has affected teenagers the most in this country: family and faith formation. I'm telling you, Courtney and Kevin, those are the two biggies in churches today. If the engine, the movement that is impacting family life and faith formation the most is the Christian church, brother. Every weekend, we are bring picnic together and we are teach them values of love, hope, faith, trust, honesty, all of them something, you know. We are teaching them. With the man we have moved from Jericho, you know, and fell among thieves, you know, brother. Hey, when I look up picnic, learn that, you know, for 52, 53 times for the year, you know, man. Come on, no? You want to tell me, say, when a kid 50 times say, England go to church, on the weekend for 2 times a year. And he gets that 50 times over 10 years. Eh? A 500 times that, The people with their yard are not going to wear, brother. The only place he goes to school, He's not getting that. His values are not being shaped and formed. Church are the biggest thing. And that the study said, and it wasn't a Christian organization, brethren. Thank God for church. Need to do more, but we are doing a lot.
Wow.
I agree. I just want to say something that's a little bit off tangent. Just want to continue to express condolences to the family at the Banana Industry Board. They lost Martha Black just over the week gone. And I was there giving grief counseling yesterday. Family, continue to stay strong. Kev.
Well, oh my gosh, the time is done. It's finished already. Can you imagine?
Already.
No, we can go for have part 2, if I have Steve some other time again. But this is how it go when you have some important stuff. So, Courtney, just want to say thanks to our producer, Trishan S. Brian, hardworking Trishan, to Timoy Butler for technical support, and our very special guest, Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuel. Thank you so much, Steve, for coming and sharing with us. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yep.
This was the program designed for men with guests who are men. And indeed, the hosts are men. We end the show with this quote: strive not to be successful, but rather to be of value. That was said by none other than Albert Einstein himself. Catch you next week, same place, same time, right here in Love 101, serving this nation for 30 years. Next week, Monday.
Yeah. Thanks again, Steve. Blessed.
I am a man. Hey, man.